Showbiz Chicago, the podcast. I'm your host, Michael Roberts, and I'm so excited to have my next band with me. They're called the Young Rapscallions, and they're going to be performing at the fantastic Montrose Room. And if any of you have not been out there yet, it's at the Intercontinental Hotel, one of the best venues in Chicago. And I'm very excited to have the group with me. It's Jonathan Saunders, Chris Mintz-plazze, who everybody knows from Kick-Ass and Superbad, Nick Shaman, and Taylor Messersmith. So welcome to the podcast, boys.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, Michael?
And I know it's a bit early for you, but I want to get to kind of like a basic question. How I know your music is very organic. I love your new LP, and you have an EP out that you're promoting. Tell me about the process of putting a song together.
That's a good question. The process for us, like you said, is very organic in a sense where a lot of times a song will just come from, us being together in the rehearsal space. Someone will play something and just kind of out of the blue, and say, oh, we like that. And, we'll just go with that. We'll write a song in, a half hour.
Wow.
On the other hand, it might be something where, I will personally have a little guitar part, just one little thing, and I'll bring it to the group, and we'll kind of all work on it together and write new parts and shape it together, and it happens really freely, and it's great. It's a great way to write music.
Now, I've seen on other interviews and read that the four of you have been friends, some from elementary school and some later in high school. How has your relationships strengthened through your music?
Well, I think we're really fortunate to be traveling on the road and working for hours on end as friends, friends first, and then, what was the word? I guess, not businessmen, but musicians, but it is our business, in a sense, but we're friends first and foremost, so it makes the whole experience a lot more fun. It's a lot less of a business, really. It allows just for us to really feel like it's always really 100%, it's fun.
But you know what, that's actually a really good point, though. How do you keep the business aspect civil amongst people who have known each other for, decades?
Well, it's definitely, we're not perfect. I think, especially on the road, there's going to be a time when you guys want to joke around and the other two want to just go to sleep. And, 20 minutes later, they're all reversed. So it's hard to please everyone. And, we're bound to get into a little bit of scuffle together every now and then. But, I think the fact that we're all friends and we all know each other, it definitely, helps. But you can't avoid those, we get at each other every now and then, but it ain't too bad.
And even from a business aspect, as far as marketing, with social media and everything going on nowadays, you can market a CD or an EP LP independently, where before you used to have to get a big studio behind you. How has social media really impacted your group?
Well, I think social media has impacted, everything and artistic sort of outlet.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. We played a show where we Corpus Christi 2 nights ago, and the booking agent was telling us, this was all the booking that I did was through Facebook. Not even just the internet, but just one website. And it's true. That's like the ideal way to get people out. Now, you don't really see flyers so much. We'll still do posters at venues and make flyers, but it's crazy how the majority of promotion is through Facebook and the internet. It's really kind of changed how a band can get their music out to the world, I think, for the better.
So how did you first start getting your music out? Like, what was your first, outlet to get it to the public?
I think it was Facebook. Yeah, I mean, Facebook takes a bunch of really interesting, weird flyers, put on like pictures of us in really weird lights or his dogs. We love dogs. So you can put dog pictures and be like, hey, we're playing at this time, and here's a really cool picture of my dog licking inside of a bowl.
I knew I loved you guys. So when you guys are putting music together on your own, and then you get it in front of the public, how is that reception? Because you never know if something's good really until it's out there. So once you got your music in front of your fans, how was it received, and has that influenced at all how you write other songs?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's a really good thought. It's always nerve-wracking, especially like on this tour. We haven't played since we started our tour this past few days. We haven't really played a show in, I would say, maybe 3.5 months. And we have a whole bunch of new material that we've been playing so far. And we're always really nervous when we play a new song. Because we want to play it well, and we want to just get that first run out, get the nerves out, for the first run. And to me, it is always interesting to see how the crowd is going to accept it. But I think, it's exciting, and our songs, I think our songs are different. Each is really different in its own way. So it is always exciting to see how the crowd's going to feel about a really heavy song, or how the crowd's going to feel about like a softer song.
Absolutely.
But I think last night really, I met one family that came out, and they were really excited, and they were like, oh, the dad said, I really love this heavy song yesterday, and then his little daughter was like, yeah, there was a slow song that really made me happy. And the mom was like, oh, and there was this song. So it was really nice to see a full family of all different ages sort of digging a different type of sound that we created.
And you know what? That's very important to have as a fan base, to have a crossover like that, because that's going to sustain your band throughout the years, more than having just one kind of core group. If your music can communicate, and isn't that really what the power of music is anyway, to communicate with everybody? More than
very true, yeah. That's the ideal, to have a little something for everyone.
Sure. Who are some of your biggest musical influences?
Well, why don't we go around?
Why don't we go around?
Yeah, we'll each say a few. What do you guys think? I know that collectively of the band, it's definitely a few big ones that we all feel pulled from, like Chili Peppers and Harmony Jacket, Sinbad, Led Zeppelin. And I know there's definitely some that specifically, like Aaron Song was studying Charles Russell, mostly Taylor loves a lot of heavy stuff, like Mel Rings or Tool, which is great because we all love that, but we don't listen to that the way he does, but he does differently. And then, yeah, I think Nick and I have very similar tastes, just a lot of classic rock. We honestly just listen to a lot of things and just try to pull from everything that we can.
Fantastic. What about international influences like African music, like percussion and things like that? Does that impact on your music as well?
I mean, I love, personally, I don't think we're too influenced by, world music. I think we all definitely have an appreciation for it. I personally love, old music, old, Motown and old blues and jazz and old American music is really great, and all that old American music was formed from all these other forms of world music. So I think we're just kind of continuing in our own right to reshape. I mean, maybe I'm putting this on too high of a pedestal, but we're having fun doing our own thing and taking from what we like. And,
right. So what's next for your group after this tour? Chris, you're probably doing some more films and stuff, but so as a band, what kind of time do you give yourself to create new material and put an album together and just get your juices flowing again?
Well, like I said, before we got on the road here, we were rehearsing for about 3.5 months.
Wow.
We were pretty much rehearsing every day. And so we were, so we could be really, really rehearsed and really tight to the road. And the goal is once we get back from the road, we're going to be recording a new album, all this new material, and this is a really new kind of situation for us where instead of just recording all the songs we had, we actually have a wealth of songs to choose from too. So we're not, all the songs that we have might not make the album. We're going to be able to make the first album with songs, to put together songs to make the best album as opposed to just throwing everything we have on one album. So that's the goal, is to return home and just write some new music and record some new music and keep it going.
Absolutely. So how do you decide what gets put on an album from your, you must have so much material that you write. What makes the cut? Do you try to have a through line through your albums, or is it just what is by vote?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the first time we're actually going to be able to do it, so I don't know what's going to make the cut yet. But the goal is to create something that is, a cohesive album.
Good.
And
right.
Tell the story throughout and has a flow, and hopefully, it's something that someone will want to listen to from beginning to end, and has songs and tones and feelings that all move together and make sense together. So we're excited to actually have that chance to have 20-25 songs recorded, and then take the 10 best songs and really create an album as opposed to just a bunch of songs.
Oh, who knows? You could write The Next American Idiot, and I'll put it on Broadway for you. How's that? That's what I want to do.
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
I said you could be writing The Next American Idiot, and I'll put it on Broadway for you.
Yes, that'd be great. Exactly, thank you.
So, what do you want your fans and your audience to take away from your music?
Yeah, well, I think we want people just to be happy and to hear and feel something from it for me is very important. When you feel when you're listening, anything, and to have it on that day, it makes them, a little happier. If they want to be sad, they want to feel someone else's sadness, it can make them feel that. So I think feeling for me, is very important. And I think the overall goal is that we want people to come back. We want to play a good show. We want people to have a good time at the live show. We want them to tell their friends. And we just ultimately just want to keep coming back to the show.
Absolutely. And as long as you guys stay true to yourself, I think you're going to have one of the best new bands out there. Your music is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and just as a core group, I mean, your sound is so unique. I mean, you can put all this other kind of music together, and just because I was listening to a bunch of mixed up stuff on my iPod the other day. Boy, but when one of your songs came on, I knew it was you guys. I don't know what it is, but you instantly have a unique sound, which is very rare in this industry.
Well, thank you so much. That is really awesome to hear. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for taking time to talk with me, and I will see you guys on the 18th. And Jonathan, feel better. Go to bed.
We'll be all rested up by then. We'll be healthy, and we're ready for Chicago. We're excited to get out there.
Fantastic. So we'll do cocktails after the show.
Awesome.
All right.
That's great, man.
Take care, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.